Hi, Maggie. My name is Carolina. Thank you so much for reaching out about planning your trip to Peru. I'm here to help with so many different options in the Amazon. I just wanted to show you what we can do. So I've put together an itinerary and I'm going to share my screen here and we can go through it together. So this trip is a private tour for the two of you, but as I explained in the Amazon, there will be other people on their expeditions and you'll be going out on adventures every day with other people. So you'll have plenty of opportunity to meet other travelers, especially people with the same interests of wildlife and nature. Majority of this itinerary is in the Amazon. And then I've also, of course, included Machu Picchu because how can you go to Peru and not do a little side trip to Machu Picchu? So on September 2nd, you're going to take your flight to Lima. You're most likely going to arrive in the evening. We're going to meet you at the airport and we're literally going to walk to the hotel that's connected to the terminal. It's called the Wyndham, and you can rest there and prepare for the Amazon the next morning. Really nice, comfortable hotel. I like putting this picture so you can see the hotel and the terminal are literally connected by an air bridge, so you don't even have to go outside. September 3rd, after breakfast at the airport hotel, walk right back to the terminal and board your flight to Puerto Maldonado. So the Amazon jungle, let's just touch base on that a little bit, is spread between multiple countries in South America. So you can reach it from Ecuador, from Bolivia, from Colombia, from Brazil, and of course from Peru. And in Peru, we have two different regions. There is Iquitos in the north and Puerto Maldonado. So Iquitos is the mouth of the river. A lot of the cruises will depart from Iquitos. So if you ever hear about an Amazon cruise in Peru, it would be from Iquitos. And there are lodges there, but they are a lot more rustic, older lodges. And Iquitos, because it's a bigger city, it of course it has light pollution, noise pollution. So then you have to go deeper in the Amazon to go to a lodge that has more wildlife. So unless you're interested in a cruise, I skip Iquitos and I go to Puerto Maldonado. Puerto Maldonado is the kind of heart of the jungle. It's really deep, and it's also on the border almost to Bolivia. Like you're going to be so close to other parts of the jungle. So of course, the Amazon is kind of chopped up into different reserves and preserved areas and national parks. And all of that you will encounter on this itinerary. So when you arrive to Puerto Maldonado, the lodge crew will pick you up. So the cruise that I chose for, or the lodge that I chose for you is Refugio Amazonas. There are many, many lodges that we use here. This one is about a 2 hour travel from the airport. This is good. This is not so long that you're not spending 4 to 5 hours in a boat or a car in a bumpy road, but it is far enough that you will have no light pollution. You will not be anywhere near, and Puerto Maldonado is not a big city anyway. So this means a lot more wildlife, and I have a little surprise for you there. So Refugio Amazonas is where you'll be. It is a very comfortable lodge. They will pick you up in a boat just like this and go down the river to the lodge itself. And they have all kinds of different rooms, standard rooms, comfort rooms, suites, and deluxe. I included a suite for you here so you kind of get an idea of how the amenities are, how spacious and comfortable it is, private bathrooms, hot water, beautiful soaps and shampoos. So you have everything and anything you need. But of course, if you want to upgrade, there is an option to go up to the deluxe. And the big difference is that the deluxe also has an outdoor bathroom with a tub in the jungle. So if you are interested in that, that is also an option and it is available for those dates. We chose September because it is still fantastic dry season. It is opportunities to do a lot of hiking. All the crowds are gone of the summer, but it's still good weather before the heavy rains come at the end of November. So it's a good time to visit. And then once you are in the jungle, and we're going to spend 5 nights in the Amazon, the itinerary that I've put on here are just kind of an example of what's possible. You're going to hike, you're going to go in boats, you're going to go out early in the morning because there's a lot of wildlife activity, and you're going to go out late at night so you can caiman spot and try to find jaguars. There's a lot of activity at night. Obviously, the sounds of the jungle are amazing. I personally love the Amazon. I try to go at least once a year to some kind of rainforest around the world, and I just cannot get enough of it. I think the flora, the fauna, the stories, the people are just so interesting. And it's just one of those places you can go back over and over, and you never know what you're going to see. And so that kind of is the idea in the Amazon. There's an itinerary here. It's just a sample, but all the activities are arranged by the guides, which live in the lodge with you. And they are from the Amazon, from this region. So they know it like the back of their hand. And it's based on water levels, on the weather, on the climate, and of course your interest. So if you love fishing, you're gonna go fishing every day. If you love hiking, the guides will make sure you have some kind of active activity every day. And then the Refugio Amazonas has a property that's called the Tambopata Research Center that is another hour and a half to 2 hours down the river, so even deeper in the jungle. So I've included 2 nights for you there. So there'll be 3 nights at the Refugio and then 2 nights deep in the Tambopata Research Center. The Tambopata Research Center is almost at the border. It's in a national park. It's at the border of the country, and it is very remote, very pristine, and it is known for wildlife. So we call it a research center because here you're not merely tourists, you're on an expedition. The accommodations are very comfortable, very similar to Refugio. They have your private bathrooms, running water. The walls are open up to the jungle, but you have mosquito netting, the beautiful meals, everything is included. But the whole idea of coming here is to see as much as possible. And the bird life in this part of the Amazon is absolutely fantastic. If you love photography, if you love birding, the clay lakes and the opportunities here are fantastic. So some of the things that you'll see, you'll go by boat, you'll go by foot, and you'll go on these canopy. There'll be hanging bridges. There's so many things to see and do. The guides will have access to everything. There's binoculars, scopes, everything provided. I would also bring my own binoculars, especially if you are an avid birder. But it is a really wonderful combination of being in a traditional Amazon lodge and then going out here to the research center. It's really a once in a lifetime experience. This is one of the clay lakes, and sometimes you'll go out and you'll be on a boat or a barge or a floating platform surrounded, covered up in bushes, and you'll have your hot coffee and you'll be watching the birds here. And it's just, they really do some magical moments for you. And then I've put a picture of the jaguar simply because they exist here. You will see footprints of them. You might hear them at night, but it is very hard to see them. But I like to say that it is quite possible because these photos are obviously taken by people who have been to the area. So 5 nights, 2 nights at the Refugio, 2 nights at the Tambopata Research Center, and then one night back to the Refugio so that we can break up the travels. And then day 6, we leave the Amazon. Sorry, day 7, we leave the Amazon and we fly to Cusco. It's only a 35-minute flight, super easy. Once you arrive in Cusco, we're going to be in high altitude, and I never like having people stay at high altitude right away. So knowing that you don't really care for cities and knowing that you love nature and wildlife, I thought it would be really fun and special to spend the next 2 nights here. And that's in the Sacred Valley at the Mountain View Experience Lodge. So as you see, they have these A-frame huts. It's your private room, bathroom, outdoor hot tub, and they actually raise llamas and vicuñas and alpacas in the area. So you will see a lot of animals here, and they might come up to your hut. And it's a really, really special experience. I thought that we can come here, relax, take in the view of the Sacred Valley, enjoy the hot tub, relax after the Amazon, kind of shake it off because the Amazon is wet and sweaty and very humid. And now here we're in the dry Sacred Valley, end of the winter. So it's very fresh air, and you can have a nice dinner here and then start touring the next day. So for the next day, I included some touring of the Sacred Valley itself because you need to acclimate a little bit before going to Machu Picchu. So instead of going to my indigenous communities that I sponsor, and I know that that's not your cup of tea, I've included Pisac ruins, which are very manageable and beautiful for photography and a really great place to acclimate. Pisac Market, the largest market in South America or in Peru. You will see the local communities, but it's not like visiting them. You get to shop if you like shopping, but for photography, for a cultural experience, it's a great starter. And then of course a beautiful lunch because we want to make sure you have a taste of the Andes as well. We will do that at a local ranch, a local hacienda, and then spend another night in your mountain experience hut. before we go to Machu Picchu on day 9. So day 9, we take you to the train, you take a Vista Dome train ride, 2.5 hours to Machu Picchu. We spend the day exploring the ruins, having lunch up there, having a private guide, really taking in the ruins. The ruins are split into 6 parts. And so we buy one of the circuit permits for you. They're already on sale for next year and they do sell out. So we will pick one of the circuits for you, take you on the tour, have lunch, and then go on the train back to Cusco. So now we're returning out of the Andes, out of the Sacred Valley, and we spend our last night in Peru in Cusco. So Cusco is a city, but it is a cobblestone, beautiful place. So that last night, you're going to get back probably at 6 or 7 p.m. You're going to maybe have dinner in the hotel, which is very charming, kind of bed and breakfast type of property. And then the next morning, we'll take you to show you a bit of Cusco before your afternoon flight to Lima and then on home. So if you have extra time, add a night in Cusco for sure. You're gonna wanna have some time to explore on foot of your own. And if you love food, there's some really great restaurants here. But if this is all the time you have and all the budget that allows it, and you wanna focus on the Amazon, then this works really well. I'm gonna stop sharing. Let me know your thoughts. We can make any tweaks possible. This is your trip, so we can revise it anyway to make sure it fits. Thank you so much for listening and happy travels.